Hey everybody, it is Dusti Martin again, joining you for your monthly market update. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on with COVID-19. I'm going to give you a little update on what to expect in the market right now. Buckle up, here we go. All right, so let's just get right into it. Our active listings, despite all the craziness, despite everybody being locked up for half of the last month, so almost 3 weeks in some cases already here in Arizona, our active listings are down 29.9% over last year. That's still in trend with what we've been seeing the last, 3 to 6 months with our inventory. But our sold listings are still actually up 3.2% over last year. So that means that there's still a strong demand. There's still low supply. And that's making sellers still, even with all of this going on and all this uncertainty in the market, it's still a good time to sell. And historically, our rates are still kind of low for interest rates. So we're doing good there. Our median sale price per square foot is up 11.8%. It's at $256.44 this year over last year, which was at $229 and change. And then our month supply, believe it or not, with all that's going on in the market and everything that's going on, our month supply is actually down 32.1% over this time last year. And we are sitting at a very, very healthy 2.5 months of supply in Scottsdale, Arizona. So that's well inside a seller's market. And in a minute here, we're going to break it down by price range. And then our median days on market is also down 22.4%. Year over year, we're at 45 days. Last year, we were at 58 this time last year. So even with all the craziness that's been going on, things are still, for right now, okay in the housing market. So that's great for anybody who's looking to buy or to sell. And I think buyers, if you're listening, I think one of the things that I'm starting to see is that sellers are more willing to deal simply because they haven't quite realized that the numbers are still in their favor. So they think they could probably go back on the market and still sell. But in many times, they're not as sure of themselves as they were before. So a lot of times they'll just take the first best deal and move on and be happy to keep that customer satisfied. So keep that in mind before they find out. Let's move into the $0 to $100,000 price range. We are at a 1.67 month supply. So that is still a white hot seller's market if you're in that price range. The $100,000 to $200,000 price range, we're at 1.41. So still super strong seller's market there. Still have gentle upward pressure on the prices. And then we get to the $200,000 to $300,000 price range, and we're still under 2. We're at 1.47. That's only 6 weeks of inventory. So if everything stopped, if nothing came on the market from here on out, if our governor tomorrow said, all right, no more real estate listings, and they did that for a while in California, you'd actually see that in 6 weeks, we'd be out of houses to sell. So that's still really good for sellers in our area. And then on top of that, the $300,000 to $500,000 price range, we are at 1.28 months of supply. So still super hot sellers market in that price range. The $500,000 to $700,000 price range, we're at 2 months of supply, 2.02, still inside a seller's market. At the 700 to $1 million mark, you're at 2.64, still in a seller's market. And then here's where things get a little crazy. If you're in the $1 to $3 million price range right now, there is only a 5.21 month supply. So it's not a seller's market, but it's not a buyer's market either for the first time in a very long time here in Scottsdale. And so if you have one of those higher priced homes, there are still people out there selling. Now, here's the one thing. If you have a home that's valued over $510,000 and change, it's called a jumbo loan. It's like a conventional loan. It's just big, right? And for some lenders, because there's been a lack of liquidity in the market, and this happened before the COVID stuff and all the shutdowns really started happening, is when interest rates went super crazy low, it started a firestorm of refinances, which caused a bunch of margin calls on all these lenders who had locked in at certain super low rates, under 3% in some cases. And then the bigger banks that those smaller banks would normally sell those loans to said, give us our money. We're not sure that this is sustainable. Pay us now. And so all of these banks were losing money because they had locked into these clients at super low rates, but then could not sell them at that rate. So that kind of, with that said, all those refinances kind of clogged up the system. And then we had the COVID thing. And so things are slowly starting to stabilize and even out. So that's something we need to watch. But it is making jumbo loans, construction loans, the Govy or government loans like FHA and VA a little harder. So to keep that in mind, and it really, I'm finding, deals more with what type of lender you have and their size and the number of banks or types of banks that they deal with. So in some cases, the smaller lenders, the hometown guys that we would love to deal with more often than not, a lot of times they no longer have those products available. So you have to go to a bigger bank. So just keep that in mind. It's not that all jumbo loans are gone. It's not that all construction loans are gone. It's just a matter of who's going to loan on it. So it's just finding the right bank. So keep that in mind. The other thing is our $3 million price range or higher. That's actually at 19 months supply. So last year it was at 19.88 this time last year. And that basically means we lost a full month's worth of supply in that price range. So it's still a very strong buyer's market. You know, that's almost a year and a half, a little more than a year and a half's worth of supply to sell a home at that price range. But that, in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, that's really not so bad when you've got so many other things going on and playing on the market and a lot of fear, to be honest, right now. So I have to say I'm a little shocked. I'm shocked that things, even with things being pretty locked down, I've seen a lot of homes go temporarily off the market or withdrawn or canceled. And it's unprecedented, to say the least, but it's also not helping our inventory situation. So it's continuing to suppress the inventory, and yet there's still buyers out there who still need to find a place to live, who still need to move, who are still coming here for a new job or lower taxes or to retire or a lower cost of living. So, so far all is well. Time will really tell. I hope I'm giving an update like this in April. And one more month of this for us here in Arizona. That's what our governor's projected. So that's when I think we're going to see the real effects on if this is going to have an immediate effect on our real estate market. But so far, what's going on in the stock market isn't too terribly bad, affecting our supply and demand and ability to do business here. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. 480-717-9405. Look forward to hearing from you soon. If you need any TP, let me know. Have a great day. Bye.